Here is the world news from BGI TV, Babagede Imo TV. I am yours faithfully, Moribe Rebila Lawal. First are the major headlines for the world news. Man jailed for attempt to steal from Obasanjo. Why Nigerians should be grateful to President Buhari over railway projects, says Amaechi. There is something between bandits and Buhari, ex-army captain Umar Ali. In Niger, 3 killed, others injured in terrorist attack on Shiroro. Lagos police retrieves 50,000 naira extorted by ASP, returns it to NYC member. Biafra, why Buhari government decided to try Nnamdi Kanu secretly, Oliwa. Another breaking news, Nnamdi Kanu floors Buhari government as court strikes out 8 out of 15 charges. Another first-class monarch joins ancestors in Oyo. And to foreign story, Ukraine war pushes world food prices to record high. Finally, on sports story, 17 players in Super Falcons camp ahead friendlies versus Canada. Now the news in detail. A magistrate court in Abeokuta has on Friday sentenced 33-year-old man Shiroro to 12 months imprisonment without the option of a fine for attempting to steal from ex-president Olusegun Obasanjo. Shiroro, whose address was not provided, pleaded guilty to the 2 counts of theft and causing breach of peace. The magistrate, Mrs. Olajumoke Shomefun, said that the prosecution proved beyond reasonable doubt that the convict was guilty as charged. Prosecuting ASP Olakunle Shonibare had earlier told the court that Shiroro scaled the fence into Obasanjo's compound in Abeokuta on April 1st with the intent to steal. He explained that immediately he jumped in, he was caught by one of the security guards on duty. He said that the offense contravened the criminal code laws of Ogun 2006. The Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amaechi, has told Nigerians to be grateful to President Muhammadu Buhari for facilitating the massive railway project across the country. Correspondent gathered that Amaechi said this on Thursday in Abeokuta, Ogun State, during the launch of the state's mass bus transit system. Amaechi said, "What you Nigerians owe us is not only gratitude. I know you won't, some of you, but most of you will if you are APC members. What you owe us is the gratitude of the tenacity of the president, who, despite the criticism of borrowing money, is continuing to construct the railway. That is what you owe us. Because the moment you say to a man you are doing well, he will do more, and so since the president is doing. In fact, he approved that we should redirect the initial design of the railway from Lagos through Apapa to Epe to Lekki Deep Seaport so that we don't have a log jam as we have now in Apapa at the Lekki Deep Seaport, which will conclude construction by September and then commission it in September." Still on the presidency, a retired military captain, Umar Babangida Aliyu, has weighed on in the security serious plug in northern Nigeria. Speaking on Arise television on Thursday, Captain Aliyu expressed sadness at the current state of the country's security setup. He explained that the bandits are not Muslims, as widely believed, adding that there was something between them and President Muhammadu Buhari. There is something between them and the commander-in-chief, which he is not telling us. These are people who rape people freely in the month of Ramadan. They are not Muslims. They have never been, and they are not Muslims, and they have never left no one in doubt that they are not. Whatever is between them and Mr. President is only known to God. There is a conspiracy of silence. There is a time that I said here that Mr. President seems aloof about these things. It is very odd. Remotely related as we are to victims who tend to get the shivers when these things happen. It is not showing in the commander-in-chief, he said. Concerning the insecurity in the country, at least 3 persons were allegedly shot to death, and several others were abducted by armed terrorists in Ramuche Madela in Basa, Kukoki Ward, Shiroro local government area of Niger State. The incident, it was gathered occurred on Thursday afternoon. Eyewitness accounts that the heavily armed gunmen stormed the Ramuche Madela village in their large numbers and unleashed mayhem on some unsuspecting victims. Confirming the incident to Daily Post, Sani Abubakar Yusuf Koki, co-convener concerned Shiroro Youth of Niger State, said during the deadly encounter, about 3 people were shot dead while scores of others were abducted and taken to an unknown destination. Koki lamented that kidnapping for money has become a common phenomenon in their localities, noting that many villagers are being killed, maimed, and raped, among other inhuman subjugation, by the terrorists without resistance from the conventional security personnel in the state. According to him, it is quite unfortunate that we have been forced to coexist with this sad reality. We are being killed, maimed, and forcefully have sex, among other inhuman subjugations by marauding terrorists in our communities. From the northern part of the country, we go straight to southwest. The Lagos State Police Command on Thursday, April 7th, retrieved the 50,000 naira extorted by an Assistant Superintendent of Police, ASP, from a member of the National Youth Service Corps, NYC, and returned it to the owner. This follows the arrest and interrogation of the ASP, Eitere Joseph, attached to the Meron Division after a report went viral on how the police officer forcefully collected the said amount from the young man for an undisclosed offense. The man was shown in a video on Twitter asking the corps member for money, and it was later seen holding a white envelope said to contain the money. This case was brought to the attention of the police authorities by an online news medium, Connect All NG, on its Twitter handle at All NGR, and following the outcry by Nigerians, the police, through its force public relations officer, Muyiwa Adejobi, began investigation into the matter. However, on Tuesday night, Adejobi on his Twitter handle at Prince Muyiwa announced that the said ASP had been arrested in connection with the matter and is currently being investigated over the incident. Moving forward to the trial of Nnamdi Kanu, Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, URIWA, has rejected the decision of the President Muhammad Buhari administration to try Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, secretly. The Federal High Court during the week introduced its new practice directive on trial of terrorism-related cases in the country. Trial of terrorism-related offenses such as that of Nnamdi Kanu are to henceforth be conducted in camera, except where the Chief Judge of the Court grants permission. Media coverage may be prohibited. The Chief Judge of the Court, Justice John Tahemba Soho, in exercise of his constitutional powers as enshrined in Section 254 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, and all other powers enabling him made the practice directions. Uriwa warned that this very move would likely escalate the security situation in the southeast, adding that the federal government had adopted this measure because they know they have nothing against the IPOB leader. To a sad note, Onikoyi of Ikoyile, Oba Abdul-Yakin Ayinla Oladipo IV has joined his ancestors. Oba Ayinla Oladipo IV died on Thursday at a teaching hospital in Ilorin during an illness. He was aged 53. Until his death, he was the chairman of the Traditional Council in Orire local government area of Oyo State. From that story, we go straight to a foreign story. World food prices hit an all-time high in March following Russia's invasion of agricultural powerhouse Ukraine, a UN agency said on Friday, adding to concerns about the risk of hunger around the world. The disruption in export flows resulting from the February 24th invasion and international sanctions against Russia has spurred fears of a global hunger crisis, especially across the Middle East and Africa, where the knock-on effects are already playing out. Russia and Ukraine, whose vast grain-growing regions are among the world's main bread basket, accounts for a huge share of globe's exports in several major commodities, including wheat, vegetable oil, and corn. Ukrainian ports have been blocked by a Russian blockade, and there is concern about this year's harvest as the war rages on during the spring sowing season. And finally, on the world news is the sports news. The number of players in Super Falcons camp ahead today's friendly with Olympic champions Canada is now 17, following the arrival of 4 more players. The latest arrivals are Amanda Mbadi, Peace Effie, and goalkeepers Chiamaka Nadoze and Tochukwu Olueyi. Meanwhile, other players already in camp are Yewande Balogun, Ifeoma Onumonu, Uchenna Kanu, Onyi Egbekini, Rashida Ajibade, and Obona Akudo. Also in camp are Rita Chikwelu, Christy Uchebe, Onomebi, Ashley Plumtree, Mitchell Alozie, Tony Payne, and Nicole Payne. The Falcons are using the double-header friendly with Canada to prepare for the 2022 Africa Women's Cup of Nations in Morocco. If you're just joining, you've just watched the world news from BGI TV, but before we go, a quick recap of the headlines once again. Man jailed for attempt to steal from Obasanjo. Why Nigerians should be grateful to President Buhari over railway project, says Amaechi. There is something between bandits and Buhari, ex-army captain Umar Adil. 3 killed, others injured in terrorist attack on Shiroro. We also brought to you, Lagos police retrieves 50,000 naira extorted by ASP, returns it to NYC member. Why Buhari government decided to try Nnamdi Kanu secretly, Obiwa. Terrorism, Nnamdi Kanu floors Buhari government as court strikes out 8 of 15 charges. And to another sad note, which would say another first-class monarch joins ancestor in Oyo. And to the foreign story, beg your pardon, Ukraine war pushes world food prices to record high. And finally, sport. 17 players in Super Falcons camp ahead friendlies versus Canada. For more stories and updates on our YouTube channel, the handle is Babagagede Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell, selecting option all to access our updates as it drops. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. On Instagram, Bagede Imo _22. For advert placement of goods and services, coverage of events and function, both outdoors, the phone number streaming on your screen is the direct line to call strictly for advert placements. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Regular Lawal. Good evening.